Okay. We'll just leave it as is. Oh, I'm live. Whoa. Was not expecting that. Hey, my name is Shauna A. This is the first time that I am going live across three platforms. And I really wanted to do this because I have been active on multiple platforms, but it is incredibly hard to go live three different times if you don't have the right software. So I have the right software, and I'm doing this because I am building out something in public. I've made a decision. Last night I was thinking about this really deeply after I posted something, and I got so much feedback from clinicians who were saying that they would consider um, going into doing something like OnlyFans or even considering becoming a midnight ballerina in order to make quick funds. And I know in some cases, a lot of that was likely a joke, but the idea and the thought around it was that clinicians are tired, so tired that they would bypass transferable skills if that meant that they could make money easier doing something else, including adult fetish work if they wanted to. So I really sat with this and I thought a lot about it. And I really came to the idea that what is it about marketing that feels so exhausting when you are a clinician? And I have talked about marketing before. I have put marketing out to clinicians. I focus on visibility, marketing work, especially when it comes to social media as a consult. Hey, as a consultant to clinicians as well. And one of the big things is that it's too time consuming and it takes too much effort, especially when you have a private practice and you're like, oh my goodness, I need to do something like get on the phone with insurance companies, figure out why they haven't paid us yet. A lot of clinicians say, um, a lot of clinicians say like, oh, they are struggling with this because they just don't have the time. So I'm going to show you the kind of time and effort that it could potentially take to market your next product by building out my next offer completely in public. So, the offer that I am currently working on is not finished yet. I don't even have it posted. I know the ins and outs of what I want to do. It's going to be a membership. I already have like a little bit of a community on School, and so I'm going to take that and build it out completely in public for you all to see. The big question is, can this be done in a relatively short period of time? Can you build out an offer and actually have it launched and selling within 7 days? So I'm going to show you exactly how I would go about it. You're going to see the ins and outs, the decisions, the questions that I have, down to like, how do I price something like this? Or what does this look like as a clinician myself? And yes, I have a private practice. I also have a family. When I'm finished with this live stream, I'm going to get off and go work out because I need balance as well. So I'm not spending all day marketing. I'm not spending all day in certain places. I am doing quick things, putting out a very focused offer, something that I've been thinking about for a while, and marketing it over the next 7 days. And I'm going to show you exactly how that works out. This is something that I teach clinicians all the time. So I am putting what I teach to the test. Now, for these, I'm going to be coming live every day and we're going to be talking about it. I have some questions that I'm going to be asking myself because, like I said, I'm going to be documenting this. I'm not teaching at all. So, this is me doing the thing. So, you are going to hear about my objectives for each day, my priorities for each day, and questions that I am wrestling with. This is an experiment. Today is day one of the experiment. And you've already gotten my why, because I think it's really important that clinicians know that they do not have to bypass their transferable skills to throw their bum in a circle in order for them to make funds outside of the therapy work that they do. And even if they wanted to stick specifically to therapy work, you can still be visible, you can still market your practice, and it doesn't take the time and the stress that you think it does. It does require, though, input and implementation, and I'm going to show you exactly how that gets done. So, what am I building today? I am building out my marketing membership. It's going to be on school. Things you should know about me. Hey, my name is Shauna A. I'm a licensed clinical mental health counselor supervisor, and I work specifically with clinicians and helping them build out their private practice, really helping them create that sustainable long-term practice through showing them marketing and visibility. And I've been doing this for a while. I started the Delightful Clinician back in 2020. And what I can tell you is that over the past 6 years, things have changed. The landscape has changed. Even social media has changed dramatically. I've seen apps rise and fall. I've seen apps kind of be really easy to be on and get really good funds. I have 2 monetized apps at this point in time. And what I will tell you is that that change sometimes brings about discouragement. But the thing that stays really consistent is that a lot of these apps remain free. And so that gives you the opportunity to show up in ways that people have not been able to show up in forever, right? When we look at early marketing, we look at marketing in the 90s, people could not just kind of show up online and be like, hey, this is my product, right? They needed to even have ads and even have like a huge marketing effort that required lots and lots of money. Nowadays, you can go onto Facebook, you can go onto LinkedIn or YouTube or Instagram or TikTok, depending on where your audience is sitting. And you can put out multiple times a day that you have a product or service that you think would be great for them and create a clientele that way. And for years, this has worked really well. The landscape has changed, but this has worked for many people. Now, for clinicians, we tend to be really risk adverse. So we have also had other systems in place. So for clinicians, we had Psychology Today and other directories, Therapist and Therapy for Black Girls. Those are all directories that therapists can show up on and put their name on and potentially get clients from. Now, this system worked really, really well. And for some people, it continues to work. But for many people, they are noticing with many directories that they are getting less and less clients on those directories. And for some people, it's a matter of like what they're putting on those directories. But for other people, it's a matter of the directory just isn't funding what it used to. The area could be saturated, the market could be really saturated. There's other people aside from therapists. There's companies that are putting a lot of money into these directories. And so like myself, I've gone on directories and I actually have one specific directory that I'm currently on, and I have gotten 1 referral for the month. And this is the first referral that I've gotten actually, I got 2 referrals this month. Last month, I got 0. The month before that, I got 0. And so it's inconsistent. And 2 referrals is great, but it's not enough to keep a full caseload as a clinician. Where I get the majority of my referrals is through my efforts, my network that I've kept with referral sources like doctors, as well as my social media. I, at this point, can put out a feeler on social media and say, hey, I've got openings. This is the work that I do. And I do see referrals from that. It doesn't work for everybody. And the reason why it doesn't work for everybody is because knowing what social media looks like, if you're not consistent on it, if you're not consistently putting in the algorithm, sometimes it doesn't circle your material. Sometimes it doesn't know where to put your material. Sometimes we're just not putting enough into those algorithms. And that's where some of the frustration comes, is like, I'm putting this thing out there, but it's not working. I've done it once or twice. You can count on one hand how many times you've posted, and none of those posts have led anywhere. And then when I talk to people who are using social media, they're posting about their things. When I ask them, like, how much are you posting? They're posting quite a bit. Over a day, they are posting maybe more than 5 times, sometimes 3 to 5 times. Some people are saying up to 7 times they're posting a day about their products and their services. And it makes sense because the way algorithms work is they are giving themselves a consistent chance to be seen, especially considering that many algorithms don't put their stuff out there unless they have like 10% of because they're putting out their content to less than 10% of their audience. So let's take a look at this and talk more about what I'm creating and what that looks like. I'm super excited. So I am building out a membership. Now, I've also seen lots of information that memberships are super hard. Memberships for people Thank you. Membership for people can be really difficult. People say like this shouldn't be your initial product or service. You can try like that you build your audience off of. Now, I've done lots of things. I've created Facebook groups. I have a full email list. So for me, a membership, it feels like a good step, especially with the work that I'm trying to do. What I would like to do is be able to have more clinicians have access to working through their marketing. So this membership is going to be a monthly membership. There is a year aspect of it so that I know that's the product, right? It's a monthly membership. You can have an annual fee or you can do the monthly fee. And every month is going to be a marketing push. So you would show up if you have a particular thing that you want to offer. Let's say you're like, oh, I want more referrals. In your sessions, we are going to break down, okay, what does more referrals look like to you? What is the material that you have out there? How visible are you? What connections do you have so that you can get more referrals? If you're offering a workshop, I had a couple of people on one of my recent posts say, yeah, I wanted to offer workshops. I had a workshop and I had 0 people show up. And when I've asked like, okay, so what does that look like? They're like, oh, I posted here, friends posted for me. I've, created a flyer. I, put something out on Eventbrite. I went to groups and that was it. And that sounds like a lot. I know it sounds like a lot to people, but it's not enough, especially if you can say like, oh, if you can count on one hand the things that you did, it's not enough. In the next 7 days, you're going to see me post quite a bit because the little one-offs is not enough to keep it moving. So that's one thing that we have to learn. But I'm going back to that in the membership. If it was like I'm presenting this workshop, we're going to be in that workshop and we're going to break that down so that you have the ability to be like, okay, for the next month, this is the strategy that I'm going to take to put it out. So the first thing that I have to make is, what am I going to name this workshop? I'm not very good at clever names. I really just want to call it a marketing lab, but I feel like other people have done that before. And I don't want to hear anything about anybody's trademark. So it might be the marketing lab with Shauna. That feels like the easiest because how many Shaunas are actually out there with a marketing lab? I don't know. Don't look that up. I have no idea. But it's going to be something really simple and easy so that I can get this moving. I want to get it moving. I want to get it out there so that I don't have to think about it. The next thing that so that's my objective for today, because this is day 1, the experiment begins. My objective today is naming it. And if y'all want to kind of drop some names when you come across this, there's a name that you came up with or a name that you would like that sounds attractive to you, drop it in there. I'll take a look. But so I need to name this marketing thing. I really like the idea of a sprint because so a sprint is a short period of time. And so if you had a workshop that you wanted to host, do you need 90 days to host that workshop? I don't think so. I think you can do it in 30 days, but you would really have to market. So it's a bit of a marketing push. And a sprint is something that you can do very quickly. It's not going to be a course. I didn't like the idea of a course because when it comes to making a course or putting on a course, it feels like I've made courses and not a lot of people stick to them. It could be a lot of information, and I find that people enjoy implementation when they are engaged in it, and that like people want that feel of coaching. The other part of that is the reason why it's a membership is because the more people that are a part of it, the lower the fees can be. And I like that idea as well because so many people want support, but they don't have the funds that they feel comfortable investing in the support of having an intensive or a one-on-one coach. So this is meant to give that feeling of that intensive, like giving you that information, getting you that information, creating those strategies and those plans with that same level of support in a group. Now, I know people are like, no, I want private support as well. But the thing about private support to me is that you don't get to see what others are doing, and clinicians have an issue with working in silos. So we want to pull us back from working in a silo and get us focused again on creating that thing quickly and give you the confidence to push over a short period of time. And then what happens at the end of the month is we can continue to follow up into the next month, or you could be done. So I like that every month the theme is different, every month the focus is different. So the things that I have to do is name it. The other thing that I have to do is create the setup in school so that I can put it out there. I've never really been great at launches. Some people are like, oh, like I can launch a product, and that product is like they've got a full like a whole month behind that launch, right? They're like the go date is this date, the cart opens on this particular date, and like all of that is included in their launch. I have never been that person. That has never ever worked for me. That takes a lot of coordination. I just don't have it. So the product, once I build it, it's going to be available. Anybody can click and sign up on it in that school. And that's going to be that. So that will be day one, though, will be July 1st. So you can get it. You can consume some things because there'll be some of my previous courses attached to it, and then they'll go from there. Then the next thing that needs to plan out after the name is what's going to be in it. So what's going to be available and how I decide that. So for people who have like me, I have like a full set of courses, classes, digital products, all of that. And I have transferred a lot of it over into school, but it's in tiers. So for me, I am using materials that already exist. Now, if you have a product, service, whatever, and you're trying to put out something new, I am in a point in time where I'm like, I'm not creating anything new. If I'm doing something, I would prefer to do it live because I don't want to create any new products. And a lot of the lives that I do, those can become new products as well. So there is going to be things that I pull from my repertoire that will be available to my members who end up joining, which will also be super exciting as well. I think that's all that I need. What is in the priorities for today is to name it and get it posted in my school. I will go ahead and do that, and then we will be good to go. And I will be excited. Questions that I am wrestling with today. So I think the big question is this going to work? And I think that's the question that a lot of people ask about their marketing. And reason why a lot of people give up in their marketing as well is they put something out there, they don't get a lot of feelers. And so they take that as evidence versus putting something out there, not getting a lot of feelers and recognizing like, oh, that's just how the algorithm works. And so for me, this is going to be a consistent push, I'm going to put things out there. I'm going to show what I'm doing. And then I'm going to kind of take it from there every day. So if you were to go to some of my profiles, it's not going to be every profile. You should see consistent content from me about this experiment and how this is working. So, my big question is not necessarily, is a reframe actually. It's not, is this going to work? It's, what is this going to look like in 7 days? And will I keep going after those 7 days? I'm super excited. Now is your turn. Let me know what questions you have for me about this process. Like I said, I'm not teaching, I'm documenting. Today is going to be really simple. You will see, it's going to be, what am I naming this product? And putting it out on the school. So it's going to be ready to go. The big thing for me is going to be able to like put it out in Canva. Like I got to make the pretty stuff and put it out in Canva and then go from there. I am not going to overdo the flyers, and I'm not even going to overthink content either around it. But there will be content, which will be another thing for later. So that is it for today. I cannot wait to continue to share this with you some more. I hope that everybody has a happy Saturday. Look out for the product that I am talking about if you are interested in working on your marketing in a little bit of a lab. And I'll see everybody soon. Bye for now.